Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck, and this is my used equipment series, Saving Up. And what we're doing is fast forwarding in time to buy used equipment to get ourselves set up to run a farm. The idea being that we possibly saved for 4 or 5 years, early retirement kind of thing, and then we're doing this in retirement or something like that. So we're buying used equipment off the market, and we've been stashing it in this pole barn. And now I think we're getting close to being able to step out and start doing some farming. So anyway, we're going to look at these equipment. I'm going to tell you there's something in there that we're going to get, and it's pretty much going to wrap up this phase of this setup. So I'm starting to take a hint, because here is that same Sunlight 40-foot header that is just for sunflowers for our harvester. So it's a compatible header for our harvester, and this time instead of being 70 some thousand, it's only 49,000, so it's a better discount. This John Deere S7 here that we bought in the very first episode, the very first piece of equipment we bought, is compatible with that harvester, with that header. And we bought a planter throughout this process. It's over here. This planter can plant sunflowers, so I feel like the game is telling us to go ahead and start with sunflowers. So I'm going to stop fighting it, but here's the last piece I'm going to show you. Excuse me. My map is still set to sunflowers from the last time we did this. There's only one field of sunflowers, but it is field 22, which is the one just south of the pole barn, right over here. And it is the field I wanted anyway. This is a nice big field. It's right next to where all of our equipment is set up, so we don't even have to tear down the barn and do all the things or drive all the way across the map. And this is way better than when field 12 had sunflowers on it, because that one had large weeds and only 27% harvest bonus, yield bonus. This one has 83% yield bonus because it's 100% fertilized, and there are some weeds, but they're only partial. So we're going to get way more sunflowers off this field than we would have field 12. And field 12, if you remember, was way down here, a weird shape and a long drive from our pole barn, and didn't really make sense. So the game is clearly telling us it's time to harvest some sunflowers and make that our crop for the beginning. We can still expand into other crops as time goes on. So anyway, we're going to do it. We're going to buy this header. Okay. And then we're going to go up here, find the harvesters here. We need some way to be able to get this over here because it is too wide to drive down the street. So we're going to go to harvesters, special headers. Here's the header we just bought, combinations, and see, it works with all the really big harvesters. And here's the S7 381. Most of these are 740,000 or 653,000. I mean, this is the header for the biggest size harvesters, and here we are being able to use it with our really cheap S7 that we got. So I'm feeling good about it. Here's the cart for that. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this. When the game tells you to do something, you got to do it. And that was kind of the point of this, is like, what, instead of deciding what kind of farm I wanted to make or what kind of game I wanted to play from the very beginning, I had basically said, let me see what the game wants me to play. And the game clearly wants me to be a sunflower magnet, and use that as our primary source of income. So now the problem is we only have 123,000 left, and this field costs like 300,000, I think. So yeah, 368,000. So there's a couple of things we can do. We could just borrow the money, which might be what we do. We do have a couple of pieces of equipment that we bought that we don't technically need now that we know we're doing sunflowers for our beginning. I'm going to keep the cultivator for now. I suppose I should tell you what we bought. So I also bought this water trailer because it was half off basically, and if we decided to do animals, I've got this whole lot up here that we're not using for where our pole barn is. I don't really want to plow this gravel parking lot area into a field, although we could over there where we do have a little bit of grass. So field, you can see our field goes all the way here. And so there's these two big grass areas. We could plow fields into there at some point if we wanted to. I don't know that we will with field 22 here, but I wanted to put buildings or something else over here. And so the thought was maybe we're going to get animals, and if we do, we're going to maybe want this barrel for water for the animals. So that's one thing. Actually, let me take this over to, because we need it to pick up the header and put it on the trailer. So that was one thing that I bought. I technically, and see, it's got these bumps that I don't know how to flatten out necessarily. I could put a building on there and that would auto flatten it. I'd have to pay for the construction for that, and then we could sell the building, lose the value, and that would probably flatten it out. I could also use a flatten tool, but I just don't trust that very well either. Whatever, I'm getting off topic. Point being is I bought a couple of other pieces of equipment as well that were cheap, and I thought, yeah, let's do it. I didn't fire up the video camera for them because I didn't feel like it was necessary. That barrel was one. Number two was I bought a header trailer for a different header that we didn't get, so we can sell that back. So that's this little trailer over here. This one is the compatible header trailer, this N6035. So if we go back up here to headers, so if we go to our S7 and we go here to our RDF35, so there's three headers for grain here, 10, 13, and 15 meters. So the 10 meter RDF, we go down here to the RDF 35. This is that one that we got. It came up on sale and it's normally $12,000 and I got it for $5,000. I thought, well, what if the first header that we get is a grain header, is the little one? I mean, obviously I want the 13 meter over the 10 meter, but I was like, this is a really good deal on this trailer. And given that we're still going to eventually want to do wheat, if we're going to keep the baler, I might just keep this because it was really cheap. We'll haul it back to the farm, but at some point in time we might need to lease the header for this harvester, and if we just need to do grain to get some straw bales, this would be the header trailer we needed for that. So that was a really good deal. You, I think, had it in the end of episode 2 is where we got this when I didn't buy the header the first time. I got this grain cart that came up, which was a solid deal. We need something to cart with when we do actually start harvesting, so that was the first and only trailer that came up. Normally when I look at used vehicles, I see all sorts of tippers come up because that's a common piece of farm equipment. I really hope this is magnetic. I'm really banking on this being one of the magnetic ones where we drop it and it magnetizes to it. So that's kind of my goal. Let's see if it does it. It did not. And we dropped it over it. That's never a good sign. Okay, that's not what I want, because now I don't have anything down here to haul this out of the way. I'm going to be mad if we spent $15,000 on this trailer and it doesn't even magnetize. Let me just pull this over here and we'll try one more time. Anyway, I'm feeling good about the sunflower plan because we're going to be able to harvest here, I think, in October. And then we'll have the winter to use our cultivator to prepare the field, and then we can sow again in the spring. Yeah, okay, it magnetized. All right, so we've got our header there. I'm going to pull that with the tractor probably, because I just don't want to mess with it right now. So I'm going to take this other... Actually, can I get the tipper? I don't think I can get the tipper. Nope. So I'm going to pull this other cart. I think we're going to keep it because it was only $5,000. So I'll pull this back, but I won't make you watch. We'll Or will I? Yeah, or... So what I really need to be solving for is how are we going to buy that field so that it doesn't actually accidentally get harvested between now and the time we're going to use it. So I think maybe we need to take out a loan, I think is probably the right answer. I just don't want to sell this baler. I know we can't use it yet, and there's going to cause problems for us because we don't even have the right header. But we can always lease the header that goes on that little trailer to do some other harvesting. Yeah, I don't see. I don't want this part here, but what is that? That is our cultivator. We are going to need that pretty soon. So I guess let's put this over here. So yeah, I think the answer has got to be a loan. I don't know of any other way to do it. We could always sell this land up here, sell this truck, and go from there. But I don't think that's what we want to do. So I think let's just do that now while I'm still talking about it and go from there. We need 368,000. So we're going to borrow 300,000 or something like that. There we go. 260,000 on our loan will get us. Did I buy it? No, I just visited it. Come on. Buy for 366. That leaves us $14,000. So we could have technically borrowed 250. Do we want to cut it that close? Now we'll leave us a little bit of room for I don't know what. If something else comes up that we need. Oh, the other thing that I was going to show you guys, I'll zip back to the shop here real quick and show you that, and then we're going to just start harvesting, I think. So we'll skip ahead to October, see if it's time to harvest and get busy on that. Because I had bought a pallet of seeds to load the seeder before I took it back home, I had a half a pallet of seeds sitting over here, which was kind of annoying. So I bought this little electric front loader on sale for $26,000. And I just wanted to kind of leave it at the shop so I'd have something to load up with here. I don't know that this is technically, I don't know if I'm going to count it. I think I'm going to maybe consider that to be the shop's front loader, and I'll somehow figure out how to get 26,000 back in, if that makes sense. Can I hook this up on the front? All right, we're going to try. We got a 3-point on the front. You guys are getting to see all of the mistakes as we're trying to figure this out. But I want to take all this stuff back. So we're just going to put that on the front. I know it goes on the back. And we're going to just take this on the back. We'll haul the header over to our lot. Like so. And we'll drop these off. And then we'll fast forward, and then we'll just take a harvester over in October. Because we're just going right over there to start harvesting, because I think it's the next month when this is ready. So, and there's this like what do you call it, drainage ditch. Oops, ran that stop sign, car was coming, couldn't brake fast enough. There's a little drainage ditch, so we can't drive straight over. We have to either enter it from the north up here, or we can enter it from the south where there's a little ramp, which is where I'll take our harvester over. So I'm going to take this over here, and I'm just going to drop this off right here. And then I'm going to park this for now. We're just going to flip back over to this because we still have this loaded up. I don't know why I'm taking this cart right now, just to get it out of the shop, I guess. And we'll just leave this on the wrong side of the field. But that's fine. We'll find it eventually. And all of our equipment is damaged because we're buying it used. You can see our little blue repair bar is way down there. So we technically need to repair pretty much everything. I did spend $10,000 just to repair a tractor. Let's see, can I jump the curb here? This is not how you want to enter the land, but we'll do it. So I'm just going to take this over here and leave this cart right here. We may never need this. We'll probably forget that we have it when we do need it, but I'm just going to put that out of the way and then come over here and park this up like so. So we're going to jump back over to here and fast forward to 9 a.m. in October. And we're going to get this series underway. So I do want to look at the years. If we're still in year 4, we technically only fast forwarded 3 years instead of 4 or 5, like I said. We could have held out for one of those other headers, and we'll still check every month just to see. That'd be really funny if it was in there now. But it's not. That's tempting if we're going to do animals, which we're also probably not going to do yet. So, all right. So let me check our map. Is it ready to harvest? It is ready to harvest. So here's our field. There's our harvester and our header down here. And so let's take... Number 1, let's give it a save. Since we're kind of set up. And number 2, we're going to take this and we're going to weave our way over there. Also need to fix our yard. There's trees in the wrong spots and there's stuff just in the way. So we're going to drive around the rest of the field and find a spot to park back there. But it says this should work with our harvester, so if it doesn't, that's going to be really interesting. We got a little bit of shimmy shake going on with our header there. With our trailer. Slow down and let that stop. And maybe I shouldn't be going full force while hauling something like this. See, this is a big field. I'm excited to have Field 22 be our field that we work on to start, because it is a big field. It's not as big as this one that's right here below it. Let me put on the... So here's 22. 21's actually pretty small. This one here, 20, is ginormous. But we're going to start up here, and we'll kind of take it from there. So we're going to take a wide turn here and drop this header off right here. And so we'll leave this here, flip over to the harvester, have this back up, come down here, we'll unfold it as we're going down. Checking out all of our new equipment here. I'm excited. I've used this harvester once before, but it wasn't on a series that I did a lot of. I think I just picked it up in a series I didn't continue, or I was just messing around with something, but it's an impressive harvester. So let's take this, and now we can just scoot this out of the way. And we'll drop this one right here for now. And I don't know, we'll see. All right, so we're probably gonna go, I like to go clockwise on this when we start. Seems to be working all right. Get our steering assistant going. Yep, one headland, 12 meters. We already missed some. Right over here. I like to go clockwise because then our pipe is on the correct side on loading. But yeah, so I don't know. This will take a little while to harvest, I'm sure. It's a big field. Tell me how many acres if I hover. does not. Here, let me go to the farmland. 30.3 acres. So yeah, sizable field. We should get, yeah, we're already 13%, and we're only on, yeah, we're not even going to get all the way around before we have to unload. So that's good. That means we're going to get a lot off of here. It's going to be big jobs cultivating it, planting it, going on and so forth. But I think this is a good start. Like, this is a solid way to set up. Now, but one thing I'm going to run into is we've only got one tipper that holds, I think, 20,000, give or take. And then we've got our harvester here, which I think holds 13,000. So better follow the line so I don't leave little bits. There we go. I don't know where we're going to put all these sunflowers. Let's take a look at the price chart for sunflowers. You get a decent price in October, 1,300. Yeah, I can get 1,300 everywhere. Max is 1,450 if I save them to March, but I guess we could sell off the first couple of loads just to make back some of the money today once we know, and then we'll try to keep one tipper full of sunflowers for the next year in case we do decide to do animals. And then we can sell those off if we need to as well, or wait for the best price. So yeah, I don't mind selling these at today's prices if that's what we need to do, because we don't have the funds for a silo, and I don't really know where I put it yet either. I could get another tipper, but that's just going to spend more money that we don't have. I don't think there was anything in the sales. I guess technically this is in the sale. This would hold everything. We don't have anywhere to pull it though. Do you think you could pull this with our truck? I really doubt it. No, we would need a semi. Okay, yeah, I think we're just going to have to sell some. Anyway, so let me know what you think. I guess my thesis from this episode is the map wanted us to do sunflowers, and that was the point of this used equipment challenge, was see what equipment the game gives you and then start a farm with that. So rather than saying, I know I'm going to do wheat and bales, and that's what I'm going to, or if I know I'm going to do cows, so I'm going to do farming equipment for mowing and silage, no, I said, hey, I'm going to see what equipment comes up, and I just bought the equipment that presented itself, and the decision there was that sunflowers was clearly the right mix for us, because that's where we're at. So I'll go ahead and turn my flashers here, and I'll just unload here at the end of this row. I don't think there's enough room down there with the ditch for me to unload past the end of this, so I don't want to get stuck in a weird spot. So we're just going to go ahead and stop here and turn that off. And then we're going to take this, disconnect that, and then go get our tipper, which I think is still at the shop here. We're going to unload once, and then I'll probably cut the episode there, because you've seen me harvest enough to know that everything works and to see where all the equipment came from. Also, so I guess my questions are, how do you feel about the loan? I didn't really talk about loans. I didn't really know, and I guess I spent more money than I thought I was going to. But I wanted this big field. I could have bought a little field and started from scratch and planted sunflowers, but maybe that's what I should have done. I don't know. I just thought, let's see, there we go, open the cover. I just thought if we've got the big harvester in the big header that goes with the $700,000 harvesters, we might as well get a big field so we can get a big yield and kind of start from there. So I feel pretty good about it, but I'm curious if anybody thinks differently, that, you know, I should have maybe started with a small field, and if I couldn't find one planted with sunflowers, just plant my own, because technically I've got a cultivator and a planter and a seeder, and I could have done that. This is the wrong side to be on. I don't want to run all the way around that. Can we sneak up here? I guess we're going to see if we can fit, if we could have unloaded here. There's a little bit of room, but I just don't know with the pipe out. I'm not sure that we'd be able to. I think the pipe would put us in the ditch. Anyway, so I'm curious about how you guys feel about the loan, because the other option is technically I could sell the pole barn, sell all the land, and there is, you know, this little bit of land right here where the two headers are parked. I bet I could build the pole barn right there and move all the equipment down. So I could sell all this stuff and probably just about wash for coming up and putting it down here. I'm going to get 40,000 back for the barn, you know, bench and everything else, and just move all the equipment down here and just kind of move ourselves down to field 12. Or not, excuse me, field 12, field 22. So anyway, that's my other thing that I wanted to ask. Did you guys think I should collapse all this and sell it all and move everything down onto the one field to go within the spirit of the $1 million? I think this is close enough that I can just pay off the loan and do it that way, but I'm open to interpretation. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.